Germany, of course, out of the World Cup in spectacular fashion. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to Talking Bayern, the one-stop shop for Bayern Munich and German national team content on YouTube. So I didn't do a match reaction or review of the game against Costa Rica, but I think it would be better to kind of capture it all in one video, reviewing Germany's time at the World Cup in 2022, be going into all the games and analyzing kind of what went wrong. So first off, I'm just going to give a quick statement, but I don't think this was a terrible World Cup in terms of how Germany played. Right off the bat, I think there was a lot of mistakes in tactics. I think there was mistakes in player management, kind of who we put on. But I'll get onto all of those and I'll discuss those in the individual games. But I just want to say I do think we got a lot of things right, but still, unfortunately, we were obviously sent home from Qatar. So going right into the first game in Japan, obviously coming out really hot in that game against Japan. I was feeling great in that first half. A lot of chances, a lot of shots. Japanese goalkeeper played incredible. There were some obviously problems with finishing. We didn't start with Fulkrug, which is a mistake in my mind. And obviously Japan had two good, counter goals. And this is the game I'm going to have the least complaints about, even though it's the worst result for us in the tournament. It was a game where, although we dominated Japan, I'm not salty about, I guess there was no refereeing problems. There was I don't think any, complaints in that regard. So really what went wrong was on us. We let them counter us. We had defensive laps by Sula and Schlotterbeck. Neuer could have definitely saved that second one, and we couldn't get it done finishing wise. So we lost that game to Japan, and I'm not going to, make any complaints. Obviously it was a very frustrating result, and I think we did deserve to win. But then again, we can't be letting those chances happen for Japan. So obviously that was a very, very tough position for us and really changed the way, our mindset going into the next two games. But before that game against Spain, Costa Rica managed to beat Japan, which put us in a great position, basically saying, if we get 4 or 6 points from this, as long as Spain beats Japan, we'll pretty much be fine. And so what happened in that second game against Spain, I thought we got the better of Spain. I'm not going to say we dominated them, but I think, we had that Rudiger offside goal, which if he took just one step back, he didn't need to be offside for that. He had so much space. Just a better timed run from Rudiger would have got us that goal. And obviously my biggest complaint about the game was the missed hand ball that would have almost certainly gave us a penalty goal and gave us that 2-1 win. And then late in the game, Musiala and Fulkrug couldn't get us that second goal we crucially needed. And that obviously would have won us. That would have advanced us from the tournament. That would have, brought us on into the next round, obviously assuming we still get 3 points in the third game. But that was a big problem in my mind because I thought, that third, I really think that hang ball would have changed the game, would have changed everything. 3 points would have completely changed the game. We would have been safe going into the last game as long as you got a win. So really, really frustrated with the way that went down. I think that's a huge error. And honestly, I thought Germany played a great game. I thought we did well against Spain. I thought we started to, really get the team going, and things were looking better for us. I was pretty happy with that, result from the guys. Obviously, there were some officiating issues in my mind. And then going into the third and final game, where as long as Spain tied or beat Japan, we'd pretty much be fine with the win over Costa Rica. And obviously, there's not too much I'm going to say about the Costa Rica game because obviously 1-4-2, Musiala hit the post twice, Fulkrug and Havertz missed chances. Early in that first half, we were really going to wish we scored more. We probably had the chances to score, 8 or 10 goals in that game, which would have got us some goal difference. But we really didn't expect Japan to beat Spain. We didn't want to be in that position either, but it's really tough because I do think that obviously, we had a good performance, and I think that, it didn't really go our way with that Japan. It was still in, if you look at the, the angles, but Japan, threw on literally inches, not even inches, millimeters, and that would have brought Germany to the second round. But obviously, it's out of our control what happened in that game. Disappointing Spain couldn't get a better result for us to move us forward. But we dealt with Costa Rica. Obviously, some defensive lapses again, but the offense was really getting going in this one. Musiala was cooking the Costa Rican defense. And then this game, if Spain had got the result, I was thinking, we're going to go in the round of 16, probably as the second team. We're going to be playing, in the first round, Morocco. In the second round, Portugal probably, who lost to South Korea today. Obviously, not looking great. And then probably playing either England, who's looking off, or a very injured France. in the semifinal potentially. And obviously we escaped, if we come in the second, we've escaped that really hard bracket on the other side with Argentina and Brazil, some teams we want to avoid. I really do think if we got into that, anything could have happened. I definitely think we could beat Morocco and Portugal. Obviously, there's a chance we still lose those games, but I think we're favorited to get to at least this semifinals if Spain gets that extra goal and ties the game. So unfortunately, Spain couldn't get it done for us. Unfortunately, it came down to the situation, but really, we played well offensively. Couldn't get the goals in the first game, but Japanese goalkeeper played great. Defensive lapses was a story in game 1 and 3, but really, Spain's 7-0 win over Costa Rica really hurt us on goal difference. So that's why they moved on. We didn't, but really, really tough. I do think, a lot of people will criticize Hansi Flick and, starting Mueller and all these things, but really we got this result against Costa Rica. We tied Spain. Our only really bad result was that loss against Japan, and that was a tough one. I think if we beat Spain, that's not a problem, but, it goes down to goals here, like one extra goal for us, one goal they don't score. There's a million things, like you look at the handball, you look at the goal, the game that was almost out. There's a million things, and if one of them had happened for us, we would have went through, but that's just, how it works sometimes, and unfortunately, that's how it is. But yeah, I do honestly think Germany would have made it to at least the semifinals if we made it through. I'm not saying, we're the best team. Obviously, I just do think there are a lot of flaws on that side of the bracket with, England not looking great, France, Portugal, really the best teams to play. And I think those are very, very beatable teams for Germany. So really unfortunate we couldn't get through because who knows what's going to happen. It's a World Cup, but all credit to Japan. They played a great game. Unfortunately, they managed to beat Spain and Germany, but lost to Costa Rica. So, yeah, it was definitely a stressful tournament. Hopefully, we pick it up and go better into the Euros. But it's like the Euros 2020 where we didn't have a great tournament, but looking at the bracket and if we get past that England team, it was Denmark and Czech Republic and I think it was Ukraine. These teams that we could really probably beat pretty handily and get to the finals. Just unfortunate we didn't get past that little hurdle, and who knows what would have happened, but. Hansi Flick made some errors with who he started, I think, but really it came down to those defensive errors in game 1 and then, the handball and not finishing our chances in the second game. But it's difficult to exit the tournament on 4 points. Most teams that do get 4 points do move on, especially with our goal difference that we had. But that is really unfortunate. That's just how the game goes. But, I was pretty upset about yesterday's result, but that's just how it goes. It's just kind of just a story for German football at the moment. But let's pick things up going forward. And, hopefully we're at home for 2024, the Euros. So hoping for a great tournament there. And hopefully Hansi Flick can redeem the team and get a Euro title, which I know it's not the World Cup, but pretty big deal as well. So hopefully you did enjoy this video. Thanks for joining me for all this Germany content the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure I'm going to do content in the next few weeks, but make sure to check out whatever comes out. Thanks again for all your support. Hope you see you on the next one. Until then, Mia Samia.